welcome back. Last time we had a bit of a struggle. We had to go to this BT area and collect tar extraction devices, and we didn't quite bring enough stuff. We didn't quite bring enough BT weapons to get the last piece of cargo. We were also thinking that there was one more piece than there actually was. So on our person, we have all of the stuff that we need for the quest. But what we really need is some more weapons to replace the ones that we spent, including blood bags. We're really running low on those. Thankfully, we can just fabricate them. Also, some of this stuff is on the verge of complete destruction, so I'm going to go ahead and recycle it so we don't find ourselves with equipment that is falling to pieces while we are out on the job. Even this terrain skeleton, well, that thing has lasted a long time, so I'm not going to replace that. Nope. So let's print up some good stuff. It seemed like a good idea to take a container repair spray. You never know what's going to happen. We definitely need at least 2 blood bags to replace the ones we used. Now, as far as weaponry goes, I was giving this some more thought. I know I ragged on Hematic Grenades level 2 last time, but I was realizing there could be some benefits because I hadn't encountered that large BT type, and that thing takes a few grenades to go down, so if we could put a bunch of blood into a single grenade, maybe that would be more cost-effective. Because we generally run out of grenades before we run out of blood. So I'll print one of those. And we'll take plenty of Hematic Grenades. Plenty. Another thing I'm wondering is there a difference in damage between non-lethal and lethal assault rifles if we're just firing anti-BT weapon bullets? I would be surprised. I would be very surprised if there was. It doesn't make logical sense to me. But we're going to take 2 of those. That seems to go well for us. And that's going to be it. Not too heavy, not ideal, but we can manage this. And we do have some climbing gear for the last leg of our trip. Normally, I like to take the trike everywhere, but we ended up not really being able to do that here, and we cannot fabricate one, sadly.
Thank you for your contribution.
Not sadly, though. We can save, and this time I'm going to make sure to save before we get into the BT area. Maybe the limit on saving is we can only do it when we're on the chiral network. Perhaps that is the secret. Well... oh, we can't forget BT, blue. BT, BB, what's the difference? See, now that we're not in the vicinity of BTs, we get this, I think he recovers quite a bit faster. But that meter isn't going all the way up. I don't think it's going up at all. I guess there's a limit. Interesting. I thought we'd be able to fully restore it. Probably we have to spend time at a private room in order for that to happen.
Keep on keeping up. Keep on keeping up.
Hey look, a private room. I'm not sure if that was there.
Restrictions lifted.
I think it was here and I just mentally blanked it out. So that's interesting because if we have the ability to fabricate here, I'm not sure we do. Then we can actually build a trike. Would you look at that? Yes, we will do that. What do we want on the trike itself? I almost always put the quest items there because we don't need to do anything with those. And we have space for a bit more. I know for the first leg of this trip we're not going to need a ladder or climbing anchor. So let's do that. We could rest in private room. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we really need that. I'm just trying to think of what benefits it would provide. Okay, let's try to find a route that we can drive. I think it should be drivable. Just going off of my memory. I think we want to go somewhere like here. How convenient. Just have to remember, if we spray ourselves with container repair spray, that is not going to... That's not going to repair the stuff on the bike unless we point it there. Just have to remember it's technically not on our person. How do we want to get down around this? It looks like if we go to the right, it's going to be a better path eventually. Excellent.
I wonder if anyone's watching.
So we're off the network. Can we save? No. Let's go back into the network. We're in the network. Can we save? No. Oh, dismount. Oh, game. At least it tells you if you try. I didn't think, because it was grayed out, I didn't think to even try clicking it. So now we know. At least it tells us. Dismount and save as we get to the edge of the rain. Timefall. Nope. Onward. So we only have one package that we have to get. Should be easy enough. What do we want to do about the trike? So if we do a scan, we can see where the last one is. And our eventual destination is the Evo Devo biologist. Where that is a good question. I think it's somewhere over here. So if we leave the trike here, we're going to have to come back for it. But if we keep a bit of a range away from the BT area, I think we can avoid triggering them, and we can leave the trike in a more advantageous position. Just to save ourselves some time. Yeah, let's... Oh, we're getting quick flashes. That's not what you want to see. So these are the little guys. This is what hematic grenades were made for. Another thing we started to learn... Somebody sees us. Oh, somebody's. About 3. Interesting, they're staying highlighted. I wonder if that has to do with how happy BB is. I mean Lou. Someone's out there. What is that? Okay. Just trying to... There we are. We don't need to kill all of them, we just need to kill the ones that are going to be a threat. Oh. Got a little close there. I'm just gonna grab this. Oh, that's not good. A little bit too greedy there. Let's run. Give us some distance. We might be pursued, but they're pretty slow. There's the trike. I could have taken my time, been a bit more patient, and we could have gotten out there without getting detected. So go ahead and put that final tar extraction device. Oh, we have to get off. Now, let's make our way to the Evo Devo biologist. Nestled away. Looks like a pretty shallow slope. Should have no problem. Other than the usual problem of the game making it annoying to use the trike. For example, we can do it. That was, of course, just as planned.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Fragile Express ID verified. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo verified. Thank you.
Can we deliver from the trike? Why, yes we can.
I'm impressed, Sam. Not many people would have even attempted this. May I have a look? Not a scratch on it, and the tar inside is safe and secure. You do not disappoint, my friend. Now, connect me to the chiral network. That's where my studies will truly begin. Thank you. It goes without saying, but I am convinced that the tar is related to the BTs and the Death Stranding. After all, both it and Timefall are the defining features of the post-Stranding ecosystem. Sudden environmental changes such as these invariably lead to the extinction of organisms that fail to adapt. Those that do adapt do so by virtue of enhancers, the regions of DNA that grant successful organisms their advantages. These genetic factors are the key to evolution. But there are genes which have the opposite effect, those which disadvantage organisms. Extinction factors, as they have been called. These are the seeds of advancement and obsolescence. Such factors may lie dormant within us all, a choice waiting to be made. For every being since the advent of life itself. If so, then ancient proof may hide deep within the tar. Evidence of these genetic decisions that may aid us in navigating our current crossroads. In any event, thanks to you, I can now study the composition of the tar in greater detail. I'll make sure to share any interesting results with you later.
Well done, Sam. You furthered our research into the Death Stranding in ways you cannot imagine. Thank you again for bringing me Mama's body, as well as that ammonite. Speaking of which, my analysis of its umbilical cord is proceeding apace. I've been comparing the data against some of our restored archives. Anyway, would you mind returning to my lab? Preparations are finally complete for the chiral relay integration. If you could collect the necessary materials for the restoration work and bring them here, I would be most grateful.
Good work. New order available. Please access delivery terminal for further information.
Back to the lab again. Looks interesting. A grenade launcher. Lethal or anti-BT, slip, non-lethal, tranquilizer. Very versatile. We will have to give that a try. Surely there's a firing range exercise that lets us try that out. I would think. Now the question is, do we go to the safe house and teleport? Or do we... Well, if we teleport, where would we teleport? We would need a safe house here. And there isn't one. What do they look like? They just look like a house. So the closest we could get is over here. Not an ideal situation. Another thing to consider would be a more direct route, which I am greatly considering. So if we can get through here, I'm not sure we'll be able to get up there on the trike. But let's see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Safe house here. And then better to go around the base of this. And we are home. Something like that. Now we need to deal with the problem of the trike having not very much charge. Exactly why I don't lug a PCC around. I can just go ahead and print one out. Oh. And we must recycle. I guess that's it. We really struggled the last episode, but it was just one extra trip. It wasn't too bad, all things considered. So I have to...
Stay strong, Sam. We're in your corner.
I have to drive a bit away from here in order to be able to build that generator.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
Let's Can we wear... Oh, we can wear multiple accessories at once. Probably not the glasses.
Construction complete.
Can't wear glasses on top of glasses. I guess it decided to not show us the path. Sometimes it seems to do that. Maybe because we haven't gotten close enough to the previous node. Good thing I'm not over there. Now that would be a trial and error type of death. The rock moves pretty slow. So we have to find a way up and over this if we want to keep the trike. Not super promising that that's going to be possible. What is this over here? I suppose we could go maybe here and then back on our original routes. These puny rocks are as nothing to us. Nothing. So much for our musical interlude. Rain as far as the eye can see. Well, timefall. Alright. Try to stick to our usual tactics. Boost only when required. No problem.
Hey, buddy.
Beginning scan. Jason Bridges ID. Verifying high-level transfer. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges. Keep on keeping on.
Thank you, Sam. In reclaiming our past, we've uncovered a number of vital clues. Don't worry, I just got back. We have time. When you met with Mama, you experienced a strong antigen-antibody reaction, correct?
There was a BT in the room.
There was, but something else may have been causing it. I've discovered large quantities of chiral matter in Mama as well. Not just the usual kind that collects on our skin or on our suits. It's in all her cells. Cells that are no longer active. The BT you encountered there was special. It was her child, but also her own soul. Somehow, her car and half failed to separate. They must have remained connected through the umbilical cord. It's the only explanation.
Is that why I didn't get a bruise where she touched me?
Yes, and there's more.
10 seconds to cardiac arrest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I modified the log times. Headquarters will have no record of what we say. Look, a message from Deadman. It came with the umbilical cord.
Sam, I'm sorry. You deserve to know what you were carrying. But I couldn't risk Heartman finding out about the case. So I had no choice but to keep it off the books. You've got to keep this between us. We still don't know if the director can be trusted. The umbilical cord was taken from Bridget Strand. I removed it in secret. The cord wasn't attached to a fetus. It was outside her body. She asked me to take care of it. Said it was the key to unlocking the Death Stranding. But she insisted that I never tell the director. The cord shows no sign of decomposition or necrotization. Almost as if it's frozen in time. I thought Heartman might be able to make sense of it, so I had it hidden with your cargo at Mountain Knot City.
Deadman's observations were accurate. It's just like Mama's corpse.
What do you mean?
I mean, they share a very unique property. Both contain large amounts of chiralium in their cells. In other words, the President's cord was somehow connected to the beach, and that allowed it to escape the flow of time. I've put together the bones of a theory. It's patchy, but worth sharing, I think. Life on Earth has been rocked by many extinctions, great and small, including the Big Five. And if you examine the Earth's strata, its history, if you will, you'll find chiralium deposits that can be dated to each. What if the manifestation of beaches and other associated phenomena correspond to extinction-level events?
You mean?
Yes. Our Death Stranding could just be the latest of many. The records and research you helped us to recover strongly suggest that we are in the middle of the 6th extinction.
6th extinction? Come on.
You know what this is, yes?
A frozen mammoth from 10,000 years ago.
Correct. And this?
The Iceman from 5,300 years ago.
They both have the same umbilical cords.
Bullshit.
Humor me. What if the mammoth and the Iceman weren't frozen?
You're saying time stopped for them just like it did for Mama?
Unfortunately, all these specimens were lost in the Death Stranding, so there's no way to examine the genuine articles, but some fragments of data did survive. With the aid of the chiral network, we may be able to piece together something more concrete using Evo-Devo tech. All right, how's this? A dinosaur from 65.5 million years ago. Umbilical cord, not decomposed.
Only mammals have umbilical cords.
No. Only mammals have umbilical cords used for childbirth. This is something else. Call it a strand from the other side. I propose that mammalian umbilici are a sort of mimesis of the strand that then evolved over time. We shouldn't assume that everything about a Death Stranding is detrimental to life. Trilobites, ammonites, dinosaurs, the mammoth, the Iceman, all preserved as if frozen in time, all, without exception, found with strands, which is to say that all may have been connected to the beach. And this, when viewed in the context of the extinction entity, EE theory, leads me to surmise that organisms with strands are in fact extinction entities. You see, Sam, EEs are connected to the beach via their strands, and it is through this connection that they somehow bring about a Death Stranding.
So you're saying Bridget was an extinction entity?
It's far too soon to say anything for certain, and since you burned her body, we may never know.
Higgs said Amelie's an EE, that she doesn't have dooms like the rest of us.
Sam, think. Assume that President Strand was an EE. Isn't it possible that her daughter is too? At the very least, Higgs may hope as much now that the President is unavailable.
So he kidnaps her for EE powers or whatever to cause a mass extinction.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. I doubt a single EE is powerful enough to cause a Death Stranding, assuming Amelie is an EE.
Well, Higgs sure thinks she's got what it takes.
Indeed. And we need to get her back as soon as possible.
1 minute remaining. Please hold on to something secure.
Ah, this one is real. Sam, go west.
How do you want me to handle Die Hardman?
With your customary reserve. Nothing good will come of him learning of our suspicions. Whatever else is going on, we still need the chiral network.
Right.
Activating lab security measures. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Did you get all that? Did you follow all of that?
Keep on keeping on.
It's going to be on the test, so I hope you did.
It's time, Sam. When you're ready, proceed to the shore of the tar belt and begin work on the chiral relay. Once it's ready, use the Cupid to bring it online. The necessary materials are prepped for you. Supplies are limited, so handle them with care. You'll be carrying a lot, too. All things considered, this might be one of your hardest runs to date. Heartman knows more about the site than I do, so he'll take it from here. It's about time for his wake-up call anyway.
Administering shock. Stand clear.
Right. About that way station. The site we have chosen was an original candidate for the way station we lost to the tar belt. Ironically, we suspended construction because we deemed it a little too unstable and not worth the risk. But this time, it's our best shot. So let's hope we weren't right to change horses in midstream. Fortunately for us, the foundation we laid down is still intact. All you have to do is transport the necessary materials to the site and finish the job. I'm afraid it's the only way we can expand the network further west and rescue Harmony. We're counting on you, Sam.
That will probably be for next time. Let's catch up on Mail, the Spiritualist. The chiral network connects people, past and present. How are you, Sam? In good health and good spirits, I hope. I have to say, the chiral network is quite impressive. Ever since you hooked the shelter up, my life has become much more exciting. I've been able to procure all sorts of goods that I had never seen before, and I've noticed quite a number of new structures going up nearby as well. I should also mention that I managed to unearth some old research data that may offer some insight into some of the more unusual phenomena you might have experienced firsthand. I'm sure you have a vivid recollection of your many experiences in the seam, but it turns out that the person wandering around it that you may have identified as yourself may not be you at all, but someone else entirely. You see, while everyone's beach belongs to them and them alone, the seam is an altogether different beast. I've read about the people who had near-death experiences that involved the seam. When they came across this someone else there, they found themselves somehow saved by them in the real world. They'd even received care packages and the like in some instances. Remarkable, you'd agree. You might even say that the chiral networks bridged the gap between this world and that in more ways than we realized. Now, I still don't know who this someone else actually is. The fact that they're in the seam, though, would suggest that it's someone who's died, wouldn't it? Someone from the past? So in essence, the past is intervening to keep the present alive. It's comforting to think that it's not just BTs and other scary stuff that comes from the other side. Maybe the chiral network can help us reconnect with more benevolent beings and positive forces from the past as well. If I may, Sam, I don't suppose you could keep an eye out for this mysterious someone from the past the next time you visit the seam, could you? Oh, lots of data. Neanderthals are not extinct by Heartman. Both Neanderthals and Homo sapiens are believed to share a common ancestor in the form of Homo heidelbergensis, but there are clear differences between the two. Neanderthals were brutish and brawny, well equipped to hunt larger animals and survive in colder climates, whereas Homo sapiens were slender-limbed and only capable of hunting smaller prey. But as millennia passed, Homo sapiens learned to create tools and hunt in packs. The Neanderthals, who actually had larger brains than the Homo sapiens, also fashioned tools of their own, but these were crude in comparison and developed little over 200,000 years, perhaps because these simple-minded beings favored small family units, so that even if a breakthrough occurred, it was unlikely to be shared with others. This isolation, more than any other factor, seems to have led to their decline. Homo sapiens, meanwhile, conceived religion, with which large numbers of individuals could be bound together in service to a common cause. Strength in numbers also made their communities more resistant to famine and other calamities. In other words, Homo sapiens grew stronger through interpersonal connections by creating what came to be called society. If we persist in our divided state, we risk losing this hard-won unity and dooming ourselves to the Neanderthals' fate. We will dwindle and die, apart and alone. But history holds another intriguing lesson. Homo sapiens did not disdain Neanderthals. The two species even intermingled on occasion. Our DNA retains vestiges of our ancient cousins even now. So you see, while a species itself may disappear, its genetic legacy may yet endure. We'll save some of those other logs for next time. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.